The glass doors of the high-end cafe slid open with a gentle whoosh as the man stepped inside. Tall, immaculately dressed, with silver hair and a tailored navy suit, he exuded the effortless confidence of someone used to being obeyed. He was Gregory Harlan, tech mogul, investor, billionaire. And yet, this morning, he looked tired. He approached the counter, glanced at the chalkboard menu, and said without much thought, "1 double espresso, black, and a croissant." The barista, a young man with a nose ring and nervous energy, nodded. "Of course, sir. That'll be $7.50. Gregory slid a sleek black credit card across the counter. The barista swiped it. Declined. The silence that followed felt like a vacuum. The barista blinked. Sorry, sir. It didn't go through." Gregory frowned. "Try it again." Declined. He pulled another card from his wallet, this one platinum. Swipe. Declined. The young barista looked around awkwardly. A line was forming behind Gregory. "Sir, I think maybe you should contact your bank." Gregory's jaw tightened. He reached for his phone, but there was no signal. "God, just one moment," he muttered, stepping to the side. A small voice piped up behind him. "Are you okay, mister?" Gregory turned. A little girl, no more than 6 or 7, stood there with tangled hair, mismatched shoes, and a tattered pink hoodie. Her cheeks were red from the morning chill. She clutched a crumpled dollar bill in her hand and looked up at him with wide, curious eyes. He blinked. "I'm fine." She looked at the barista, then back at Gregory. "You didn't have enough money?" "It's just a card issue," he said quickly. "Technical problem." The girl looked at the dollar in her hand, hesitated, and then did the unthinkable. She stepped up to the counter and held out her crumpled bill. "I can pay," she said. Gregory stared. The barista did too. "Sweetheart," the barista said gently, "that's really kind of you, but—" "It's okay," she said. He looks sad. "My mommy says when people are sad and hungry, you help them if you can." Gregory felt something twist in his chest. He stepped forward. No, thank you. I can't take your money." But the girl was already reaching into the tiny pocket of her hoodie and pulling out a few coins. $7.50, right? She said, counting with her tongue between her teeth. "I think I have enough. I've been saving." The barista glanced at Gregory, who shook his head, then, very slowly, nodded. The barista leaned down. "All right, kiddo. That's very generous of you." Gregory sat down at a table in the corner with the espresso and croissant, untouched. The girl plopped into the seat across from him like they were old friends. He stared at her. "Do your parents know where you are?" She nodded. "My mom's working at the laundry place next door. I come here sometimes to look at the cookies." He looked at her more closely. Her cheeks were smudged with dirt, her hoodie stained. But her eyes were bright and clear. "You shouldn't be giving your money to strangers." She shrugged. "You looked lonely." Gregory rubbed his temples. "I'm not lonely. I'm just having a weird day." "What's your name?" she asked. He hesitated. "Gregory. I'm Tessa." He looked at the croissant, tore a piece off, handed it to her. She took it, beaming. "Thanks. I never had one of these before." He frowned. "You've never had a croissant?" She shook her head, mouth full. "We get bread from the pantry sometimes, but it's always white or the kind with the seeds on top." Gregory leaned back in his chair, watching her. "You're very generous." Tessa giggled. "You talk funny." He smiled despite himself. "Yeah, well, I guess I'm from a different world." She squinted at him. "Are you poor now?" That hit him harder than it should have. "No, I'm not poor. Just, something's wrong with my bank account. You should call them. I tried. No signal. She stood up suddenly. Come with me. Where? I know where you can get bars. He hesitated, then followed her out of the cafe. They walked down the street, him in polished leather shoes, her skipping in torn sneakers. A strange pair. Behind a dumpster next to the laundromat, she pointed. Stand here. I come here when I want to play games on my mom's phone. Gregory raised an eyebrow, but sure enough, 3 bars appeared on his screen. He called his bank. After a few minutes of back and forth with a confused rep, the truth emerged. A system-wide freeze on all his accounts, due to an internal audit. It would be resolved in 24 hours. Embarrassing, but not catastrophic. He ended the call. Tessa was sitting on the curb, humming. Well, she asked. It was a mistake, he said. They'll fix it. She smiled. Told you it'd work. He sat beside her, and for a moment, they were just 2 people watching the street. Why were you really sad? She asked suddenly. He looked at her. Because money wasn't supposed to be the only thing I had, he said quietly. But somewhere along the line, I lost the rest. She wrinkled her nose. Like your toys. No. Like friends. Family. People I trust. She was quiet for a moment. My dad left when I was a baby. My mom says sometimes people get lost in their heads, but I think they just forget to look around. Gregory blinked at her. That's very wise. I watch a lot of cartoons. He laughed. A real laugh. She stood up. I have to go help my mom fold sheets. But you can come. She gives me quarters if I do a good job. He hesitated, then stood. The laundromat was warm and smelled of soap. Tessa's mother, thin, tired but kind-eyed, looked startled when he explained who he was and how her daughter had bought him breakfast. She did what? The woman gasped. I tried to stop her, Gregory said. But she insisted. Tessa beamed. He was gonna go hungry. Her mother sighed, then looked at Gregory. You owe her a lunch. I plan to give her more than that, he said softly. He stayed the whole afternoon, helping fold sheets, laughing when Tessa turned a blanket into a cape, watching her and her mother work like a tiny team against the world. When it was time to go, he knelt beside Tessa. You're a remarkable little girl, he said. Thank you. She hugged him without hesitation. He left the laundromat, walked a few steps, then paused. Something shifted. Weeks passed. Then, one afternoon, a brand new food truck parked outside the laundromat. The name on the side, Tessa's Table. The first day, it served hot soup and pastries. Everything was free for the first hour of each day, for families in need. Gregory watched from a distance as Tessa ran to the window of the truck, her eyes wide. Her mother stood beside her, covering her mouth with her hands. He stepped out from behind the truck. Tessa gasped. You made this. He smiled. You bought me breakfast. I thought I'd return the favor. Her mother had tears in her eyes. Mr. Harlan, this is too much. No, he said. It's exactly enough. Tessa ran up and hugged him again. And this time, when Gregory looked around, he didn't feel lonely at all.